One night in Orlando, Florida, there was an evening of boxing, honoring the most famous and successful manager-trainer in the annals of boxing history, Angelo Dundee. His friends and 5 former world champions flew from all over the country to pay their respects and spend some time with their friend and mentor. Perhaps some of the impromptu conversations between Angelo and the former champions will live forever, just as their names will. Stories, anecdotes from their abundant storehouse of memories are all a part of the secrets of boxing. Mastering the arts and skills of boxing requires the dedication and willingness to learn. And learning is always aided by a teacher. One such teacher, coach, trainer, call him what you will, has risen head and shoulders above the other talented practitioners of his art. Manager-trainer of 11 world champions, and now here to share with you the secrets of boxing, Angelo Dundee.
Move it. Hi, I'm Angelo Dundee. I've been in this profession all my adult life. Hey, I loved every minute of it. These kids that are into this profession, they're not in just for the medals. They're just youngsters. They're not in for the bucks. They're in there just to excel at what they do. Because win, lose, or draw, experience you get out of boxing is second to none. They go on to bigger and better things. And one thing I don't believe in is wars in the gym. I believe in longevity. Nice learning in the gym, learning what they're doing. Like these 2 great professionals working there, Lupe Suarez and Antonio de Barros. They're just great and they're practicing in there. Hey, Lupe, time. Great workout, Lupe. I thought you did real well. Antonio's a pretty good banger, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
But you know what? What my kids do really is practice in there. They don't look to take shots at each other. I don't want no knockdowns in the gym. They just get ready for the real thing. And we're going to look at the real thing because Lupe had a fight a little while back, and we're going to check it out. That guy was a midget, wasn't he, Lupe?
Sure was.
Short guy.
Sure.
He cracked at me. He didn't know how to fight a southpaw because you're a southpaw. That was a bunch of baloney. He was pretty cute. He was going around to your right hand, but he didn't know you're a right-handed fighter. He don't know you're right-handed. No, I mean, that's the way we had the guy.
Yeah, I'm a natural.
So you're like Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler's a natural right-hander. You were starting to reach him pretty good with the jab. Now, once I knew you were starting to reach him with the jab, you're going to get to him. I think you won that first round. He came out for that round, too, you know, he was looking to get lucky right away because he figured, hey, I'm in for a tough evening. But this was a good fight for you. You know, you've been out for 8 months. So if I didn't know how good you are, I wouldn't have put you in with this tough guy because Jesse's a tough, tough man.
Sure is.
So I was glad you had your hands up there because he looked to sucker shot you. You won that round, too. What surprised me is the way he kept coming back. Now, you know, that's fighting before your home fans. You know that. When you fight in Corpus Christi, doesn't that juice you up?
Yes, sure do. You know, like when I was on those televised fights, when I fought Laporte, you know, it was those fights that got me going, you know, it made me give that extra little thing, you know. It felt good. And by this round, the 3rd round, I was already warmed up. My combinations were coming in, you know, on sync, you know, all my timing and all that.
Come on, Jesse. Come on, look where you're going. Take your body. Take your hand in your body. Look where you're going.
Number 4, Luke.
Hey, help me.
There it is. There's a hook to the body.
How'd you feel in that 5th round, Luke? Pretty confident?
I felt already warmed up. I felt good this one. I was just starting to get my 2nd win.
But I told you, hit him in the head. I said, don't hit him in the belly, because I was scared to death of getting disqualified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For any kind of a shot. Let's see if we can catch it. Oh, he took a real game effort. I don't know how he got up from the last shots. You hit him a right hand, a left hand, right on the button.
He was
that was the end of it. The legs went out from under him then, too. And he still stayed up there.
He was stubborn. He just wanted to keep doing it and make it probably 10 rounds.
Trying. He tried like the devil. Just had too much firepower for him, you know? Yeah. That's what makes a champion. No, that was it.
That's it.
Yeah. There's a knockdown. Right hook. Bang to the liver. The head shots are more showy, but those body shots do the number. The legs go. Yeah, that's it.
Dad always say, go down the tree. The rest comes down, you know. Just take the trunk off.
This is the toughest part of this fight. I thought she was going to get killed hugging those girls.
I thought my wife was going to get me.
I didn't want to grab me. Listen, Luke, one thing, I know you learn something from every fight, every workout. But from that fight, you know, when you fight those little short guys, the worst thing you can do is pull out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be very careful with that, because I'm always scared that you get nailed with a lucky shot. So, you feel you learn from that?
Yes, sir. Sure.
What are you going to do to counteract it? Slide over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, baby. Just keep doing it, because
the
more you improve, that'll make a champion.
I'm going to tell you the story.
Right.
I was boxing. I was flyweight champion of Connecticut, and I was proud of that. I had won 20 fights in a row, amateur fights. So my manager said, I had perhaps the bravest manager to ever live. Oh, he was brave. He said, you're fighting in Norwich, Connecticut. So we went to Norwich, Connecticut. I get on the scale, 115. This tall black kid gets on the scale, 126. So my manager said to me, Willie, that's the guy you're fighting. I said, Lenny. I said, I only weigh 105 pounds. He weighs 126. So he says to me, Willie, if he was any good, he wouldn't be fighting you. So I boxed the guy. He did a job on me for 3 rounds. It was the great Ray Robinson. He was a great fighter. And he wanted to sit. And we became very good friends after the fight. And we've been friends for 40 years, 35 years.
You know, I watched the fight in person one night, and I saw you fight your greatest fight. By the way, I'm one of your most ardent admirers. I mean that sincerely. And we're only like 6 months apart, but I saw that fight in the Garden. I saw you fight Sandy Sadler, and you was making him do tricks in there. How'd you go about doing it?
I don't usually talk about Sandy Sadler. He beat me a few times, but I will tell you.
Had lucky nights.
I boxed this guy a couple of times. He beat me. So I said, I got to think of a different way to get to the guy. So we were boxing, 3rd or 4th round. Accidentally, I stepped on his toe. He said, ouch. I stepped on his toe for 15 rounds. He wouldn't get near me. He kept backing off, and I won the fight. That's clever boxing, eh?
I was trying to make it as an amateur and wanted to go into the pros, and I would always try to trick you to get in the ring with some of your fighters, but you never would let me get in because you knew that I could do a lot of things in the ring, and I might make your fighter look a little bad.
Well, I wasn't concerned about that. I figured you flattened a few of them because you were around when Muhammad was around. Now, that's a tough thing to cope with, living in the shadow of Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody lived in the shadow of Muhammad Ali, right?
Yeah, it was a hard act to follow, Muhammad, he come back, he stole the people in the Olympics, and when he went to the professionals, and he stole the people again because he was the one that really changed the term of boxing. He made things of what it is today. I think Muhammad Ali, he's the one that you got to hold all that to, But I learned a lot by being with him, and seeing him do things around the world, different places. So it was a big learning for me because I wanted to be as good as him or better, but he's a hard act to follow.
I know, but you and Muhammad both used to try to trick me because you guys would be waiting to want to spar with my guys. And one time Muhammad was fighting in Louisville, Kentucky, and you sparred with his opponent. What'd you do to that poor guy?
Well, I knocked him out, but I didn't want to. But,
you almost ruined the fight for me.
Well, I had to do it. You know, I want to say how good I was. I was just testing myself. But you know how it is. When you're young and you're ambitious and you want to really make it, you're going to try to give it your best.
How did you and I get started? So, you know, nobody knows the story how you and I got together.
Well, it was a coincidence that I had been struggling trying to make it as a middleweight, and I had been fighting all the top contenders, looked like, and I wasn't going to get no break. And then one day, me and my wife decided I'm going to sit down and write you a letter. So we were sitting down and wrote the letter, and then on the end of the letter, I said, I believe I could be middleweight champion at that time. I could be like light heavyweight champion. I said, I just need an opportunity to be able to show the world what I could do. And then at the end of the letter, I think my wife wrote in big emphasis, help, you know.
A lot of people know that story, Jim.
And then within the period of 3 days, a telephone call come in, Angelo Dundee, and he said, I want you to come to Florida. And I couldn't believe it because, you know, I done struggled for 3 or 4 years trying to get there. And then one of the best trainers in the world called me and said, Jimmy, you got a ticket for Miami, Florida in 3 days. And I said, that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Now, I always warned you, I said, now, don't listen to this guy talk to you. Give me a little bit of a rhetoric. What was Archie Moore telling you?
Well, you see, he started psyching me at the weigh-in. You recall the weighing-in ceremony at 12 o'clock? They're looking at the eye chart, and Archie's going, A, E, O, and it was like C, B, D, whatever. It was wrong, you know, and the doctor says, Archie, you're wrong. He says, oh, hell, Doc, Willie won't be that far away. And I was thinking right there, oh, no, I'm going to get close to this man. Then, when we got through with the weighing in, I went to put my shoes on. Archie took my shoes and left with my shoes. He messed with my brain. I had to run down the street with his old-time shoes and pointy toes with all the holes in them and give them to him and dig my black and white tassels back. And you told me, don't worry about his psyching. You told me that yourself. That night, he made us wait in the ring about 10 minutes, if I recall. He comes in, and the dye was wearing out of his hair. And it looked like Methuselah coming into the ring. And I said, Angie, I can't hit this man. And you said, what do you mean you can't hit him? I said, he's old enough to be my daddy. Look at him, you know. And you said, hit him. I said, oh, God, Angelo's cold-blooded. The first round, I went out, pop, pop, pop. All I could see was this much. From here up, of course. You did my arms crossed? Yeah. Was eating the jab, pop, pop, pop. Then I heard somebody say, ooh, you're looking good, kid, you're looking good. I looked at the referee wasn't talking. So, dance pretty for the people, dance pretty for the people. And I started showboating a little bit. You got on me for that. I started dropping my left hand and like I was Pinklin Thomas, you know? I started dropping it down there and showboating. Come back to the corner. And I told you, I said, Angie, that old man's beautiful. He's telling me such beautiful things out there. And then you hit me with it again. Don't listen. I said, how can I not listen? The referee ain't saying nothing. How can I not listen? You said, don't listen. I said, yeah, okay. Bing, second round, he starts the same thing. Talking. He said, you're looking good, dance pretty, pa. You're going to be the next champ. He told me something I liked, and I went, ooh, what was that?
I'm pretty.
Oh, I'm beautiful. Then he said, stand still. I knew better, Angie, I knew better. But I stopped for a second. That split second, I stopped. Boom! I got it. And then I heard my alarm clock ring. Yeah. And I start looking I'm sitting on a rope looking for my shoes. I said, I got to put my shoes on and do road work. You know, it's time to get up and do road work. I thought I was in bed. And then the crowd roars, and I look up, and I saw 3 Archie Moores coming. I said, oh, God, I'm in a fight. I grabbed the ropes, and I pulled him. He went by me like a bull, you know, in a bullfight, you know, and I think if Archie spoke to me again, he could have recited the Declaration of Independence. I wasn't going to listen. I don't even listen to him to this day. I don't listen to him.
shadow boxing is something I insist on with all my fighters. In training, they must shadow box 3 rounds before they go on to the heavier work, either sparring, heavy bag, light bag. They must shadow box. Shadow box is a very necessary thing with a fighter. In other words, they go through all the punches, preparations, even in the dressing room. Now, what Pink's doing right now, he's letting that jab go. A left jab. A fighter must have a jab. A fighter without a jab don't become a champion, don't become a good fighter. What he must do is stick. That's a ruler to me. Now, off of that jab, a guy can throw a good left hook. Stick and hook. There you go. That was a good one. Now, what Pink's got, he can block punches real well. But the whole idea is catch a punch, let a shot go. Counter punch. And you got to nail a guy. You notice the hand is closed properly, because if the hand is open, it becomes a slap. But all these things are impossible without footwork, because the guy's got to be in, out, come side to side, forward, back. Your legs take you there, the legs get you out of there. That's very important. The other thing is, none of my fighters are squared up. In other words, they put their body squared up. Square up, Pink. Show them what squaring up is. That's the worst thing you can do, because you catch a lot of punches. Now I'm going to show them how to slip and slide, Pink. Slip, over, slide, move over, bang, move over now, slide. Now you let your combinations go. Pop, pop, right hand, left hook, come up with shots. Let's see the uppercuts. All right. Uppercuts off the right hand. Let the right hand go, he slips it, come up with an uppercut. Now the other big thing is this. Pink, show them what you're not supposed to do, lead with your face. Show them what you're not supposed to do. Any fighter fights like that is going to get himself destroyed. Come on, Pink. Great. Now show the people out there how you block shots on defense. Pick and punch. Pick, bang. That's defense. Now show me that left hook. Show me that left hook off that left jab now, because I want to show the people a Joe Louis left hook about 6 inches off the jab. Stick it and hook it. That's the punch. That's what knocks out people, baby.
My life has been really good to me. I've had a good life. I've had my ups, I've had my downs. Right now I'm on the right track. But I can honestly say that before I fell apart when I lost my championship. I went to drinking, I went to drugging. It led me, my life became a turmoil. It went all downhill. I can honestly say that I prayed to die, but now I pray to live, you know. So if any of you kids out there have a bad state of mind or going through some changes in life, just don't think that drugs are the answer, because drugs are not the answer. It'll lead you to where it led me, almost to death.
When I became champion of the world, it was a lot of years I labored to get it, and after I got it, I fell in love with it. And then when I lost it, I went to drugs, okay? And I went heavy into drugs. And I lost everything then. I lost everything I ever had, family, home, everything that ever meant anything to me, I lost. But thank God, with the help of my friends, my God, my religion, I'm here to talk about it. So if any of you guys out there, guys, girls, I don't care what, you're thinking about drugs, forget it. It's going to take your life. It's going to take your life and take whatever means anything from you. Don't mess with drugs.
This is a heavy bag. They're made all different shapes, all different sizes. Some 40 pounds, 70, 80 pounds. The packing is usually a rubberized packing or something. They used to use sand in the old days. A lot of our fighters broke their hands because you don't bang on sand. You got to have your hands wrapped properly. You got to have bag gloves on so you don't hurt yourself. Same thing a fighter does when he's shadow boxing, except he's hitting the heavy bag, moving around it. Now, if this bag moves you back, then a dummy's moving you back, and you're in all kinds of trouble. So what you got to do is pop on the bag, move around, throw your left hooks, your right hands. The important thing hitting the heavy bag is not to bend your wrist. You got to lock your wrist. You got to be straight down. And the way I show my fighters, your wrist, your hand must be pointing down at all times when you throw a punch. If you throw a left hand like that, a jab. You throw a right hand, the wrist must be locked. It's got to be part of your arm. This way you don't bend your wrist, you don't hurt yourself, and it's the proper way to go. You need to move around this bag. Another thing you don't do, you don't hug this bag. You show me a guy that hugs a bag, and I'll show you a grabber in a fight. You don't do those things. You got to keep your hands off the bag, hit it punches, and let the shots go in there. Same way you're shadowboxing, but hit the bag. Now, don't let this dummy lick you, then you're in trouble. Then you got a loser. Now, this other bag over here, this is a speed bag, a light bag. Now, you don't hit this like you hit a heavy bag. When I get these guys that are trying to break the bag and show how strong they are, I chase them right away. You also don't position yourself like you're fighting. You have to position yourself where you're well balanced and your legs are loose. Most of my fighters go around the bag. The whole idea is keep your wrists locked, and you don't hit it with your fist. You hit it with the side of your hand. And you go, one. You do this for 3 minutes. You keep it up. Say 3 minutes. The whole idea is it's for eyes, for balance, for perception. Then when you want to nail it one time, then bang, you nail it. And 90 times you miss it, especially a guy like me. My dad never knew I changed my name to Dundee. My name was Marina. Now, I know you had the same type of thing happen to you. Yeah, Papaleo, Willie Pep. How'd you handle that with your dad?
Well, you know, I boxed as an amateur a few fights. In this corner, William Papaleo. It didn't sound right. It didn't. So in school, they called me Pepe. Papaleo, Pepe. Right. So I said, Willie Pep. I tried that. Now the old man comes to me. He says, you know, he says, I've been a Papaleo for 40 years, and everybody calls me Pep. He said, I don't like that. I said, Pop, forget about it. I'm Willie Pep. And that's the way he went. He went for it because I gave him $40, $50 for the fight. He said, okay, you can be Pep.
How often did he want you to fight, though?
No, he didn't know anything about boxing. He didn't care about boxing. When I brought the money home, he said, he was only getting $15 a week on WPA, and he said, you got $40 to fight? I said, yeah, Dad. He pat me on the back. He gave me a couple of bucks. He said, see if you can fight twice a week from now on. And I was on my way. Now, some guy told him, he said, you know, Willie, make a little money boxing. If he goes to bed every night at 10 o'clock, he gets up at 6 o'clock and runs around the park. My dad, you know, he was an old Italian guy. He didn't know anything about boxing, but he heard money. So I'd be sleeping at 6 o'clock in the morning. He'd say, hey, William, what? Go do road work. I said, Pa. He said, go do road work. So the park was 2 blocks away. So he'd get me up, and I would go and I would do road work. So now, coming nighttime, 9 o'clock, I'm with the boys on the corner. Here comes the old man. Go home. I said, Pa. He said, you're going to fight next week. You go home. And he sent me home. And what do you do home? You go to bed. So I think he started me off in the right way.
I think so.
And I found out by doing the right things, I was winning fights. I was very lucky. And then in my amateur career, I told you I had that guy that put me away. He was very brave. He didn't care who I fought. But I ran like a son of a gun in my amateur career.
What I liked about you, you had a bad problem. You always had bad hands. What brought that about?
Well, the referee kept stepping on him when he knocked me down.
I
had bad hands. Really had bad hands. Willie and Pastrano and I both had bad hands. But he never got knocked down, the son of a bitch. He was tough.
You were the best boxer I've ever seen. And you were my idol, I swear to God. You know, and I watched you. I stole a lot of moves of yours, and I want to thank you for that, because you had a move where you feint a guy, slide right, slide left, bang, the left hook would go right into play. I thought that was tremendous.
Well, you know, I was perhaps the luckiest fellow that ever lived. I survived the airplane crash, Angelo, back in 1947. I was champion of the world, and said I'll never fight again. But I got lucky, and I began fighting again, and I went on from there. I boxed until 1966. I started boxing in 1937, and had my last fight in 1966, so I had to be very fortunate to go all that time. And I'm all right now until I hear a bell. Don't ring the bell. But I'm all right.
I've been in boxing longer than I care to remember. Over 40 years. Reason I got to stop that because I'm telling everybody I'm 39. But I got a cat over here that made me a perfect 10. And I really am grateful. Pink, thanks a million for making me a perfect 10. God bless you, my heavyweight champion. And I like to see you stay in shape like that. But I remember one night I jumped all over your case. I told you don't do something. And what did I tell you to do?
Hey, you told me, say, Pink, whatever you do, don't left hook my left hooker. I was getting ready to fight Mike Weaver. And I can remember the first round came off, and I came out like a tiger. And me and Weaver was going at it, and it was a good round for me. And then the second round came around, and I said, forget Angelo. I'm gonna go out here, and I'm gonna bag Weaver up. I'm gonna left hook with him. And I went out there, and we got to rumbling, and all I could see was that left hook coming. And bam! He hit me on my chin. And when he hit me on my chin, my legs started doing all like this. And I started seeing stars and Tweety birds, and I fell back towards the ropes like this, and the only thing I could think of was to try to intimidate him. So I pushed him off of me.
Psychological effect, right?
Psychological. So when I come back to the corner, he said, I told you, don't left hook with the hooker, you know.
But let me tell you, Pink, seriously, I want to thank you.
Hey,
You
man.
made me a perfect time. God bless you.
Hey,
I
man.
really appreciated it.
Thank you, Angelo.
Great being with you.
It was me as a champion.
Thank you. This is what you call a boxing school, and the guy sitting on is no fool. He's a professional fighter, but in my business, the most important facet is the fight fan. You got to keep him happy. And I ran into fight fans from all walks of life. One of the greatest fight fans I ever met, I ran into the guy in Zaire, England, Tokyo, L.A., and the guy's a Hollywood actor, and he's a stuntman, Bill Bryant.
Hey, Angelo, good to see you.
Don't sit here, partner.
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't do that.
Because I want you out there because you pay your buck, and that's for the fighters.
Okay.
I mean, I've watched you. You've had fights on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And you nail those guys some real great shots. Now, are you really taking the shots?
No, not really. The idea is it's fake. It's to miss, so you don't hurt anybody. For example, if the camera was there and I was going to throw a punch at you, and if I did this, you'd see daylight between the punch and your chin. You would know I didn't hit you. If I did this, and you in turn snapped your head around, it would look like I hit you. Or one of these, you would go like that, and it looked like I killed you, right?
It better be daylight, because I'm going to kick you where it hurts.
Oh, my God.
And I think I woke you up a little bit, right, Pete?
But you got a habit of doing that, Angie. I've seen you do it to other guys, too. You slap him right in here, close to my best friend. You slap him right there. And, boy, and it stings, you know? And it stings. And, boy, one night you did that to me.
I remember
We were in England.
Yeah, but that was a little different. I was calling you some sweet words and using the dear Lord as an attacking weapon. I remember that, really. And, you know, in Terry Downs, you was defending your title. It was in Manchester, England, and you were handing the guy your title.
I was losing.
Now, what did I do to sort of generate you to retain your title?
You see, you started to slap me close to my best friend.
I did that. I used that, too.
Yeah. And, boy, when you slap me, it stings, man. And you told me that, and I'm going to use another word, okay? You said, come on, Willie, you're blowing your title. Come on, come on. The crowd's going crazy. I looked down, Chris is like this, holding his head. Everybody's getting sick in our corner. And you slap me, and you're trying to wake me up, and you're banging me here. And I said, I'll use another word. I said, screw you. And a man on the side of the ring with the hammer, the British Boxing Board of Control, says, boom. Pastrano fined 100 pounds, foul language in the corner. I said, screw you. Bang! 200 pounds. A lady in the first row screams. I hollered out, screw you too. Bang! 300 pounds. Now, 100 pounds ain't $100. It's a little more, huh?
It's a little more, yeah. Right. It was about $280.
Then the warning buzzer rang, and you said, screw me, screw me. You turned around, you pointed to Terry Downs, you said, Screw him. He's taking your title. Poor Terry didn't know what happened.
I didn't hit him. Don't hit me. You were never supposed to become a champion.
Right.
You retired about 90 stinking times.
Right.
You were a lightweight, a welterweight, a middleweight, heavyweight. You came back to light heavyweight. And let me tell you, you beat the greatest fighter of all time. To me, that guy was a great, great fighter. What was his name, Pete?
I'll never forget it. Harold Johnson.
That's right.
And you
this
know
guy
what?
had muscles in his toenails, right?
Right. He had muscles everywhere, this man. And he was a fighter's fighter.
Great fighter.
One of the greatest boxers I've ever faced in my life. And everything he hit you with could take you out. But when you called me, I had just gotten back from the Wayne Thornton fight. And here, I already got babysitters to take the children. I had the lights lowered in the house. I had the wine poured. I was with my wife, and I said, now we're going to make love. I played the music. Everything was perfect. I forgot to take the phone off the hook. And I told my wife, I said, I laid down a little fur coat I bought her. I said, lay down on that, darling. We're going to make love. You know, zing, the phone rings. And I'm ready, you know. Hello, yeah. P? I said, yeah, it's you. How'd you like to fight for the title? I said, huh? What? I said, I'm getting ready to make love, Angie. Well, how'd you like to fight Harold Johnson for that? Oh, no. And my best friend disappeared. He was up there, and he went, he did it. I said, what happened? Oh.
I got up every morning, I did road work, the trainer was there. I went in the gym every day and trained, the trainer was there. I think hard work did it. I never took any aspirins, I never took any of this jazz. I just trained hard. I had to because I was very thin and a good punch would kill me. So the idea was, he who hits and runs away lives to fight another day. I just got to be that fighter. I hit and run for 29 years.
Antonio de Barros is doing exactly what I have all my fighters do pre-fight, pre-workout. This is a warm-up. Get their body warm. It's not a strength-sapping type of a thing. It just gets you warmed up, gets your blood warm, because God forbid you go out and you haven't worked out properly in the dressing room and you get hit a shot, you're liable to get right out of there, because that's why I say getting hit cold. So I don't like my guys ever to go in the ring cold. In fact, I've seen guys go into the ring cold, and I came back after watching them put their gloves on. And don't you know that my guy flattened the guy? Because I said, hey, this guy ain't warmed up. He was cold, my guy flattened him. But you got to move a little better than that, Antonio, because you're not giving me something. Let your hands go. Your jab goes. Let your right, the same type of punch you're throwing. That's a baby. I've been in this profession for a long time. But let me tell you something. The day I stop learning, I'm going to get out. You learn something new every day. This is what you call table exercise. A lot of guys hate them. There's a variety of doing table exercises. But the whole idea is to strengthen the stomach muscles. So if you get hit a shot in the belly, you're not going to double over and get flattened. The important thing is you do it naturally, slow and easy. And it's not just repetitious or anything else, but you got to get the most out of the exercise. Going down, flattening out the muscles, coming up, tightening the muscles. And you're better off, a lot of guys do it fast, but a lot of guys cheat. What they do, they keep their muscles locked. Lock your muscles, Tony. And then they come up with the muscles locked. It's easy, right? Mm-hmm. That's for old guys like me to do exercise like that. But for fighters, they got to have it, go down, relax, come up. You do a variety. There's different ways of doing it. The hands on the hips is my idea, because it seems to get more out of the muscles in your stomach. And I don't know why, but it does. Now, the whole thing is, he does about 10 of those kind of exercises. You know what I laugh about? I watch all these guys on television when they're watching the guys doing exercise and they put their body prostrate over the legs. Now, you notice how tough I'm struggling with my 2 fingers on his feet. But the whole thing is, let the kid exercise. Now, this is something you don't see, you know. A lot of people don't know that fighters go through this routine. A lot of guys, in fact, Muhammad did it in the dressing room. A lot of people didn't know. He did it for about 40 minutes. That's what gave him longevity. This is what makes it in boxing. Now, let's try a different one. Go ahead, go down. Here, you change the feet this way, coming up, and then you switch them. Come up, switch them. Come up, switch them. Come up. Now, what you do when they get a little mean to you and they want to give you a hard time, what you do, you make them put both feet up. The further back they go to the buttocks, the tougher the exercise is. Now, come up. Right? Now, watch, Tony. I'm going to put it closer. Put your feet closer.
Okay.
And not try to come up.
Yeah,
a little tougher, right?
Yes,
you get more stress out of it, right?
Yeah. So that's better.
It's better. Yeah, sure, it's tougher. But if you got to be able to take it, you're in shape to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, most of the exercise, you know, if you want to do these exercises yourself, you're better off doing them from a deep knee bend, but further out, like this. This way, using half your body. So you come up. See, that's easier.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, you vary it. Coming up like this, spread, see? Come up like that, spread. Okay? Spread. Now, one thing I never do with my fighters, I never let them go off the edge of the table and go down for. You see guys do that, right? Well, if you do that, you're liable to hurt your back. You know, a fighter with a bad back can't do too much, you know what I mean? Now, a lot of people don't realize you got to try to make this fun. If you get all this repetition, everything gets to be a little bit of boredom. What makes great fighters if they can lick boredom? You know what I mean? You gotta have a little kick with it. Now, the whole bit is you're getting some benefit out of it. Now, there's nothing better than what you're doing now, and what you pick it up as you go along. You do 5, 6 of each variety. There's more varieties to what I'm just showing you. The other variety, go down. Keep your feet off the floor, see? Come up. See if you get a different feel.
Yeah.
Right? Not a different feel?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. You usually pull my legs up.
Right. Did I ever show you the bicycle thing?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Show me the bicycle. This is a balance bit where like a little pendulum is going back and forth over his butt. Reach up a little higher, Tom. Loose with the arm. There you go. It's tougher than what it looks like. You do the one with the belly flap with your hand behind you.
No, I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah, okay, well, get on flat on your belly. Get flat on your belly. Flip over. Okay, put your hands behind you. Okay, now do the same kind of a bit, but do it off your stomach. Put your arms behind you. Put your head up. Hold both arms together. Hold them. Okay, now come up. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Come on. Reach for the sky with your head. Come on. Come on. How you like that?
Yeah.
Didn't hurt me a bit, I swear to God. It was easy. Okay, Tom. That's great.
All right.
That was a great workout. I like it.
Thank you.
You know, the way you feel, you pick it up. You know what I mean, Tom? You feel good, do about 12 of each. But you do a variety of them. But you start off slow and pick it up. Okay? Because it's going to be beneficial to you. Because, you know, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. You put nothing in, you're going to wind up zero.
Exactly.
And you want to be a champion, literally, right?
Definitely.
Well, if you put that into it, you're going to become a champion.
Right.
God bless you. Road work's a very important facet in a boxer's life. When they run, I don't give a heck. Some guys like to run at night, some guys like to run in the morning. I don't care if they run, jog, crawl on their belly, as long as they do road work. They've got to do road work because you need the legs. Without legs, you don't have a foundation. You need your legs. Now, some guys like to run. A lot of miles, that's insanity. I don't want a marathon runner. What I want is a fighter. I don't like my fighters do more than 3 miles. That's enough, as long as your legs get tuned up, because that'll take you everywhere. 3 miles is plenty. You can walk it, you can run it, jump it. I don't care, just as long as you do it.
Rocky Graziano came out with this, told me this pill was it was a roadway pill. You take it, you run around the bed and go back to bed. It's like running 5 miles.
Oh, really?
It didn't work. It didn't work.
It didn't work. Well, I know you was a hard worker because I had you in Chicago one time and I had a window I could watch you from. And I think it was a track down below. It looked like a little dog track, a Bisjon, 16-mile track. And I go out there and I think you'd run around that sucker for 10 times and you swear, come back in. You weren't exactly, now for a guy that can box like you could box, you really hated road work.
With a passion.
I know it.
I know why you were looking out the window, because it was snowing out there. and that hawk was getting me in Chicago, boy.
I can't take that cold with you.
I know.
You know, in boxing, you really got to be in shape. You got to put a lot into it. It's a grind, but you really got to be in condition. Now, talking about the guys in condition, Antonio de Barros, who just worked out with Lupe Suarez, he's always in shape. You know you're working with the number 2 guy in the world. That makes you feel pretty good, too, and you're doing pretty good in there, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, talking about fights, let's look at you in action because, you know, working in the gym is not like fighting. So let's clock your last fight.
Okay.
That's a good move you just made. You slid over. You got to do that when you walk out. And try to use the referee once in a while as a shield.
This first round, I was trying to fill him out, and right there, came back with right hand over.
You know, I got to confess, I didn't see the knockdown. I was walking out of the ring. Wow, you got knocked down. Oh, my God. What
That
happened?
was a surprise.
But you, good move. Recouping, keep your hands up. Remember I told you before the fight, those guys from Caracas, Venezuela are good left hookers? And here the guy hits you on the chin with a right hand, so I'm not too good a coach. But this was a good fight for you. I think it was the kind of fight I wanted. He's a mature, good amateur background. It looks like a pretty good banger. But he jumps with that left hook.
Left hook, yeah.
What you got to do when those guys jump on you, slide over and nail them with a right hand. You can nail them coming in, it's all over. But I thought what you were doing in there, getting off from that knockdown was a flash knockdown. Was it a strong shot or off balance?
Well, it was a surprise punch. He caught me there. I wasn't hurt, but I knew that I was behind, so I put my punch together.
You got a good chin because that was a perfect. That's a knockout shot. When you got guys sliding on you like that and you drop a right hand over, tough punch. That's a knockout punch. You take a real good rap, I tell you. I'm not proud of it. I don't like my fights to get hit. This was a long round for me. I was sweating you out because I thought maybe you were going to nail you with one of those shots. And
yeah, well, there he was still trying he was lunging with his right hand, trying to catch me again, but I kept my left chin up.
Do you do a lot of this? I mean, do you watch yourself after fights? You like to watch tapes?
Yeah, I do. It's important. See the mistakes I make and try to improve.
Yeah, well, that's a new era of boxing, you know. Before, years ago, I used to look at still pictures. Now I have the luxury of looking at tapes, and I can study opponents that you're going to fight. I thought you came back and won the rest of this round, but it wasn't enough because, you know, when you get a knockdown like that, it's like a 10-8 round.
Yeah, exactly.
How did it feel when you got knocked down and you came out that round? Were you a little more confident? I mean, because, you know, coming off the knockdown is a tough thing to overcome.
Yeah, it is. And I was trying to compose myself right now on the second round. I knew I had the range on this guy with my jab. I was trying to set him up with my jab right there.
But I know what a talent I have in you because 15-1, you don't do that by accident. When you throw that jab, don't let it lay on the back of a guy's head because the referee will caution you that you're holding the guy's head.
Yeah.
That's one of the most glaring things, so don't hold the guy behind the head, ever. If anything else, grab him around the shoulder.
Right.
Don't look as bad. What you're doing When you're throwing that left hook in close, Antonio, don't cross your body. Let the hook stop midway. Because if you cross your body, it's away from the flow of the punch. So when you see yourself do it again, you see what I mean. See it? You pulled out while you were hooking. Stay there. Don't go no place. That's it. Stay there. This way you won't get hit yourself. You're starting to work him over pretty good.
He was still a pretty slick fighter, you know.
We had a good referee in there, hit your low blow. I didn't even see it because his back was towards me. Don't ever lead with your right hand. Set it up with your left hand. See, when you reach like that, you're off balance. You can get nailed yourself. If you find a guy like that leads with a sucker shot like that straight away, counter him. Because you got a good right hand counter yourself. Good left hook. See, if you stay there, it's going to be a more powerful punch. See, you're pulling out.
Pulling back out. Yeah.
No, you do one of two things. You either punch or move. You don't punch, move. You know what I mean? Punch or move, either or. So you can't do two things at one
same time. Yeah.
More to cinch. You start again to that guy in the second round. In the third round, you're starting off real good with that left jab. Then you started getting your real. There you go right now.
Yes, yeah, that jab, I was just trying to work that jab, you know, over and over. And right there, I was doing pretty good.
And then what happened right then? You threw a right-hand shot, and the guy came on top, and what happened? An accidental butt. And the referee called it as such and went back to the commission and told him accidental butt. So how'd you feel at that time?
Well, I was pretty surprised. Well, first I thought it was a shot that I hit him with. But then when the referee came over and called it as a butt, I was pretty surprised at that.
Well, I knew it was a butt because I seen the butt because you see more from the outside. But on an accidental butt, the referee goes to the commission, they consult with an accidental butt, and then what happens there is you get it wind up with a technical draw. Nobody can lose the fight. That's their rules in Florida State, and I think it's a good rule. You know what we're going to do? We're going to watch it in slow-mo. How'd you feel after that fight, Antonio? I mean, did you feel like you progressed? Did you learn anything? You know what mistakes you made?
Yeah, I think I did, you know, that, especially that left hook. That, you know, my body going out when I throw that left hook.
Don't reach out?
Don't reach out, yeah.
You got to go first with your jab. Don't lead with your right hand. That's a sucker shot. And the whole thing, when you throw your shots, you throw them in unison. And when you throw that hook, don't cross your body. But what you're doing, you pull your body off balance. I don't want that. You got to be on balance all the time. So when you get back home, go to school, get to that gym and learn from me.
That's the key point right there.
Great. Everybody has their own methods of training. I don't believe in anything unnatural. I don't believe in pumping iron. I believe in getting the fighter and utilizing what he has. I have a guy looks like a weightlifter but isn't a weightlifter. Come here, Michael. How you feeling after the workout?
I feel good. I feel real good.
I know you got me in trouble because you're built like a weightlifter, but you're not. Did you ever lift weights?
No, I didn't. I never lifted weights. I felt that I really didn't need them. I was blessed with my natural ability. And I'm ready to I'm just going to put it to use in my sport.
Well, just stay loose as a goose and you're going to make it. And by the way, you had a little bit of a thing happen. You care to look at it and brief it over what to do, what not to do?
Yeah, well, I have to. It's good to learn, you know. I want to learn. So.
Well, let's clock it out.
Okay.
Here you go, round one. Your first professional fight and you're doing everything wrong. Now, what brought this on? Because I know you were training properly, we're doing the right thing, but you're trying to jump at the guy. Don't ever get off your feet. Keep your hands in front of your body. You know, everything you were showed in the gym went out the window, and you got yourself knocked down. Welcome to the professional ranks of boxing. And how'd you feel there getting knocked down? Did he hurt you there?
No, he didn't. I guess he did. He didn't hurt me, but it stung me, and I knew that he caught me with a good shot. And I tried to recoup. But
why'd the referee break you there? He should have kept on nailing him. because you had him in trouble there, you know, right then and there. So you ran in with your left hand low, you didn't take your dips, because you got to slide, but this way you got yourself nailed for no reason at all.
I know I'm a boxer.
Well, you're a boxer and you're a good puncher, but what went through your mind was you was on Queer Street and you got nailed. How did it feel getting knocked out? I'm not trying to be funny. You never got knocked out before.
I know it's scary, but
I mean, that's what you got to do.
But I knew when I got knocked down, I said to myself, I have to get up. That's the first thing that went through my mind. I had to get up because I never been knocked on the canvas before, and I wanted to get up because I wanted to win. I wanted to go out.
Well, that's the way you got the attitude you got to have. But see, you leading in with your jab and getting yourself nailed, there's no reason for that. Hey, Mike, you just saw yourself get knocked out now. You know you did a lot of wrong things. All you got to do is keep your hands up, keep your legs under you, bend your knees like I showed you. So you shouldn't take a shot, just slide the shot. And you know how to do that, and just let the right hand counter go. So set yourself up, but don't go running at anybody. You don't run. I mean, run, you get nailed yourself. So what the heck? If you learn from what you were doing, you can't do any worse. We got knocked out the first fight. We got to do better, right?
That's right.
Well, you'll suck it up. You're going to make it. I know you're going to make a good fighter. I shook up the wall! I shook up the wall! I met a guy by the name of Muhammad Ali. You know how it came about? I was Willie Pastrano. I was at the Sheraton Hotel, Louisville, Kentucky. No credits. And what happened, Willie and I were in a room, telephone, watching television, and the guy cracked on the phone. He said, my name is Cassius Marcellus Clay. I won the Golden Gloves at Louisville. I won the Pan American Games. I won the Golden Gloves. This is 1958 now, mind you. So I'm going to win the Olympics in 1960. So he said, I want to talk to you. I put the hand over the phone. I asked Willie, I said, Willie, is some sort of a nut downstairs that wants to talk to us. So he said, well, the TV stinks. Ask him to come up. So he came up. And you know, Muhammad and I have been talking ever since. I met him. It's been a joy. Now, you talk about Muhammad Ali. That's the greatest fighter I have ever worked with, barring none. And I don't want to cast any aspersions toward my other champions. They were all great. But there'll never be another Muhammad Ali. Changed the whole concept of boxing. Before you met Muhammad, you had to talk to a fighter. You had to go to the trainer, the mother, the cousin, the brother, the uncle, before you spoke to the star. Muhammad was the most available superstar of our era. And I was proud to be with the guy.
Most trainers are like slave masters. They tell you let's go run, go extra round, do this, do that. Angelo, I've been with Angelo 21 years and never had one bad harsh word come from him to me. We never had one argument. Never told me I had to be up in the morning, I'd be in the gym, go extra round. Never had no trouble. For 21 years, not one day have we had a disagreement. He's just that kind of fella, real nice. And we never had a contract signed with him, never promised him how much money he makes after the fight. Never had made no deals, just everything was natural. He was a good man.
They're talking about Muhammad Ali of today. Well, he's sick, he took too many shots. I think that's a bunch of baloney. I mean, I don't think naturally taking shots doesn't help you. But I don't see anybody finding a cure for Parkinson's syndrome. I don't find anybody finding a cure for cancer. I don't see anybody finding a cure for insecticide poisoning. So please, please God, find a cure for these kind of things. And you know what? If you think like a loser, man, you're a loser. But if you think like a winner, you're a winner.
attention. He can